If you can hear me and see me, go ahead and put a something down in the chat below so I know you're here. John here from incomemesh.com. In today's live stream, I want to follow up on a video I did about a year ago where in Kartra, as an all-in-one solution, we built out a consultant funnel. If you want to sell your services, your coaching packages, done for you products and services, things like that, Kartra is a fantastic service to use. Let me go ahead and share my screen here so you can see what I'm talking about here. This is the video I did about a year ago. It was really well received. People enjoyed it. People built off of it. But I did get some feedback where people wanted more lifetime deal options, and they didn't really want to use Kartra for whatever reason. It might be a pricing situation. They just might not like the mindset that Kartra uses on it. And I wanted to go ahead and do this follow-up using a different tool set, but also to kind of build out a similar type of consulting funnel, because especially in this world where a lot more services are going to be moving to an online basis, I want to make sure that I keep this content as useful as possible for you, so you know how you turn your services, turn your businesses online. And there are a couple of tools that I want to highlight in today's video that I'll be using throughout this entire tutorial, and I'll show you step-by-step how to use them. And what's great is if you're just getting started, and if you had a chunk of your income taken away, I get it. You know, we did too in some of our businesses as well. But the tools that are available here are on a ridiculous discount. They're a lifetime deal. They're a pretty simple to use platform, and you'll be able to handle all of this using these tools. Okay. I'm also doing this because, let me kind of spotlight me. Cool. Also testing out this live streaming. Also just making sure that I follow up with a client of mine, a buddy of mine, and he liked InfluencerSoft, the tool we'll be using. He liked some of the reviews I gave of it, and he really wanted to know how to build out this specific funnel using that tool set. So this is for you, buddy. I'm going to go ahead and build this out in InfluencerSoft Live. And if anybody has questions about how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it, what is working along the way, please feel free to put that in the chat. But I'm not going to waste any time because I want to make sure we walk through this all together here live. So I'll go ahead and make my screen the focus here, and let's dive in. So the goal here of this funnel, we're going to map it out step by step. I just want to tell you that the goal of the funnel is to be able to give a case study, give some video of value to your prospects, and in return of watching that video, they give up their email address. And then once you have them on your email list, in your email system, your marketing, you'll be able to drive them to a free strategy call where you'll be able to sell them on whatever your services are, and you'll be able to collect payment as well. And we'll do as much of that as possible here inside of InfluencerSoft. The only function we'll need outside of this system is the actual calendar management tool, the calendar booking system. And there's many you can use. They have Book Like a Boss, they have Calendly. We'll use Book Like a Boss in this video because that's what I use personally, but anyone will do. But this is going to be a very powerful funnel because it'll allow you to take, essentially, even if you have no products that are built out, no courses to sell, you can still sell your time, you can still sell your knowledge, your expertise, and the tools that we'll talk about in this video is really all you'll need. By the way, guys, in the chat, let me know if I'm coming in clear. I'm in a different little office here, kind of got out of my routine today, and I want to make sure that I'm coming in loud and clear for you. Okay, so please let me know in the chat below, and we'll go ahead and dive in. I'll spotlight my screen here. Let's call this a high ticket calendar booking, because that's going to be the goal here. We'll also have products to sell as part of this funnel, but the main initial goal is to be able to get them on your calendar and get them on a phone call, which is where ultimately you'll be able to help them, give them some value for free, and you'll have packages for them if they want to take the next step with you. All right. So step one is you want to be able to drive traffic from really anywhere in social media. Oopsies. Let me go back here. Yep. Sorry. Let's try that again here. High ticket calendar booking. You'll want to drive traffic from social media, from really any place you have the ability to drive traffic from. If you have affiliates, if you have Facebook, you'll have all these different traffic sources, and you'll be driving them to a simple opt-in page. And I'll show you what we're going to do in this opt-in page in just a moment, but that's going to be the initial goal right up front, okay? Driving traffic to a page, and on this page, you want to offer them a case study. So we'll say free case study, or the general goal here is giving value and also proving your authority in the process. So this can be whatever works for you, whether it's an interview you did with a previous client, it could be a testimonial reel where you show a bunch of videos of results of people in the industry you want to serve, the results you've gotten them, and driving traffic to book another call to become your next client. Whatever makes sense for you, that's what you want to do on this page here. We'll build out a very simple one, and this is going to be a subscription page. And with Influencersoft, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of most of their templates. So this is one of those where you just kind of have to go with what you got, or you can delete it all and start from scratch. Perfectly fine either way you want to do it. But in this case, I think that I don't want to give any video on the subscription page because they're signing up for a video. So let's use this dark minimalism theme. Influencersoft is a newer platform. I haven't done that much content on it yet, simply because it is so new, and I'm running it through its paces. But it's fantastic for situations like this where you need to get a funnel up quickly and you want to do it on a budget, because it is currently on a lifetime deal, which means you pay once and it's yours forever, for as long as the company is around. All right, so in this opt-in, you want to make it very simple. You simply want to say, let's say, who else wants to join your perfect result in 24 hours? So, okay, this is a very generic one. What you might want to do here is say, now accepting applications, something to show that you are in desire, high value opportunity. How I generate 10x results for my fitness clients. Something like that. Again, your individual hook in your line, whatever you use to drive people in, is going to be specific to you. I'll also kind of show you, I like how easy it is to make edits on this page builder. So let's just make this, let's find a brand color here. This might work for us. All right, now accepting applications. And instead of getting a free 40-page guide, get a free $497 training on your topic. So let's say our topic is fitness lead generation. Immediately. The goal here is you want to give them some value, but also make the opportunity for them to work with you on the next page here. All right, so that's going to be okay for me. I'm okay with that. We respect your privacy. The beautiful thing about Influencersoft is generally it's the setting up the forms that are the tricky part, all the integration pieces, and that's pretty much taken care of for us. We're just going to design the color here and keep us on brand. We'll come to the form designer. Where is it? Design settings. There it is. Okay. So the button color, I want to use that same color throughout this funnel. Let's fill it in with that yellow. Not the most beautiful color, if I do say so myself, but at least it is consistent. All right. So there's our opt-in form. Super simple, super easy to use. No muss, no fuss. All right. We'll save that guy and we'll walk through the rest of the funnel here. Let's get back in. And what's really nice about Influencersoft, and probably the way I should do this, is actually show you the entire skeleton of what we're doing before actually doing any design work, because that's ultimately where the power is. All right, so the layout here is they're opting in to get some sort of a free case study, something of value, and in return, you're going to give them the case study, but also, so we'll call this the case study, plus work with me. And this is going to be where you have a call to action of a button that's taking them to the actual booking page to work with you. This is a very simple funnel. There's only a few pages involved. So if they click on the button here to work with you, it's going to take them over to schedule free strategy call. All right, and there will be some emails we also work out here in just a moment. And finally, there's going to be kind of like a thank you. Thanks for booking. Okay, so that's on the front end, and this is going to be a great one. Those are the pages we're going to be building out real quick here in this video. We're also going to have the phone call itself. So let's just find a custom block. This is going to be the phone call that, or Zoom meeting, Skype meeting, whatever you use. Let's choose an icon of a phone. We'll call this free strategy session. What's great here is you'll also be able to come up with your own payment form. Let's do a payment page. Where if they decide they want what you have, like if they're picking up what you're putting down, you'll be able to sell them directly from the strategy call, right? So this is going to be kind of indirectly linked over. over, once they have the free strategy call, you can have some follow-up emails and things like that. And from the strategy call, you're going to be trying to sell them on your services. So we'll call this sign up for services. And let's go ahead and build the services out. This is really, really intuitive to use. As you see, I'm kind of walking through it myself because I haven't used this particular application, but I've built many of these funnels out in the past. So let's say you sell a service for $497. And the order ID, we're just going to call this as HTC, high ticket services. And new good name, we're just going to call this digital services. Okay, and we'll just save that. And just like that, you have the ability to accept money for this service. Isn't that kind of crazy? It's pretty wild to me, honestly. All right, so we have our call here. Once they sign up, you also want to start sending some emails, because the biggest drop off here, like when you get into the analytics and looking at what's happening in how your funnel is operating, is you'll find the biggest drop off point is people who opt in but never book a call with you. And so we want to make sure we set up a few emails to follow up with people who have subscribed, right? That's what this means. And here we're going to remind them about your services, remind them about your case studies, and we'll call this reminder 1. And from here, you can set up all of your subject lines, all of your emails. You can actually write the entire email here within this platform. And we'll say, thank you for signing up. So the first one will just be a little thank you email, and you're going to send them back to the case study page. All right. So we want to send a link here. So we'll say, case study, be sure to click below to watch it. Now, again, you don't want to go and say, hey, book a time with me, book a time with me. From initial, you want to make sure they consume the case study content first. So here, we're going to put on the next page link, and I'll show you how this works. If I put just next page right down below, this hashtag next page, this is going to be what's called a dynamic link inside of Influencersoft. So it will listen, like where that link actually goes to. You're never going to put a URL in. So this is kind of mind-boggling, and it makes it very simple to use. So what this does then is if they click on the whatever link is set with next page inside the email, it's going to follow the path of that arrow. So it's going to take them to that page. It's exactly what we want it to do. And it makes the process so much more simple to set up a funnel exactly how you want it to be and visualize what's happening. Check here. Trying to see if I got people. All right, I think we're working. You guys let me know if everything's working and sounding okay. It seems like we're doing quite well so far. And thank you guys for signing up and joining me on this one here. All right, so we're gonna have, and you can do as many reminders as you want to. I'll just show you how easy it is to set up an autoresponder. So this first email, reminder 1, it happens directly after they opt in. If I wanted to delay it, I could by clicking on that little pencil. And you can see here, this is going to happen directly after they opt in, right after the previous step. But for the reminder 2, let's go ahead and set this up as a day later. So we'll call this reminder 2. And we're going to perform this step after the previous one with a delay. And we can do a 1-day delay. We can do a 1-day and 4-hour delay, whatever you want. And we'll say, did you watch the video? Right, so we're going to be able to set up these dynamic messages, and I'll show you something really cool here in just a minute of how you can actually use filters inside of Influencersoft. This is like kind of higher level, a bit more advanced stuff, but how to be very, very pinpoint with how you target your messaging. All right, let's just say here, did you watch it? Click below to go there now. And again, I'll do that next page link. Now down here, you've got these add conditions, and under the add conditions, you have the ability to decide who gets this email, right? So they do most of their work, Influencersoft does most of their work on lists. So let's make sure we set up a list for this case study, and then we'll be able to set up some dynamic filters here, all right? So I'm gonna come back over to the settings of this opt-in page, and underneath the Actions tab, this is where all the integration stuff happens. So for this, if you have an existing list on your in your system, in your Influencersoft account, you can link them up for any one of those. But if they don't, all you have to do, you don't need to exit this screen or get out of the funnel or anything. You simply type it in. So let's say this is going to be our high ticket case study. Perfect. Let's say case study opt-in. All right, and I'll click the plus button to add that list. And it says here, the group has been created and added successfully, and there you go. By default, it's not going to be underneath any category, so I do highly recommend, if you're going to do this for clients or kind of just have a lot of different offers, spend some time to create your own categories and organize things. Just a little fun fact there. Alrighty, let's see. Sandra Carter asks, I can show it. Check that out. Love this. Sandra asks, do the reminder emails get sent if they do not watch right away? Awesome question. That's the perfect time to be asking this question, Sandra. We'll actually handle that on this next page, on the case study page. I'll show you something really, really special you can do. So thank you for that question. We're going to answer that one soon. All right, let's go back here. Focus on the screen. So we added them to this list, right? So under the filter, we pretty much want this email to go out all the time, right? You want to make sure you start building out a relationship with them. So there's no real reason to add a condition on this one. You want everybody who opts in to get it, right? But let's do something here in just a second here. So underneath the case study page, if they get to this page, you can set up some other pretty cool things. Let me just kind of think through how to do this. So this little eyeball is if they visited this page, you can have specific automation set up. I don't want to jump too far ahead. Let's get there. But what I want to do eventually is say that if they didn't book a call, they never got to this thank you for booking screen, I want to be able to set up a few automations there. Okay, so we're going to get there, but we're kind of covering that as we go. All right, so this is the email. We want this one to come out a day later, and you can continue on as much as you want to. Okay. Alrighty, just kind of walking through, making sure I don't skip any steps along the way. Hey, Claudio, thank you for joining. Glad having you here, buddy. All right, so now underneath the case study and work with me page, let's go ahead and just do a quick little design here, give you the general gist of it. We're not going to spend too much time on the design. And before I do that, let me just grab the color scheme from the previous one. So as you're working through, anytime, just keep making sure you save a lot. You can click that little green box. Oh, it won't let me go take the funnel live yet because I haven't built out all these pages, but I should still be able to preview. Yes, okay. So I can preview this, and at least I can get my color schemes I need there. All right, let me go into this next page. Let's build out this next one here. And also you can see you've got the link right here. I'm not gonna worry about setting up the links specifically, but you can obviously change the links, give it a title, all that stuff you wanna do. Let's go ahead and choose a template for this page. Now this one here is going to be the case study itself. It's going to be primarily video focused. So I want it to be a content page. And you can see they've got some pretty good templates here for content pages. I think this one makes the most sense. It's a webinar template, but we'll make a few adjustments to it. What I like about this is it brings in some testimonials right there on the page itself. And I just think that it does a good job of setting up the format we want. All right, cool. So who else wants to get this? So here, we just want to have this be how I get XYZ result for XYZ clients. Special training just for you today. Alrighty, so again, I'm not spending a ton of time on the text itself. I really want to show off the technology here. Underneath the video, I think a YouTube video is perfectly fine. If you want to use a Vimeo or VooPlay or any of the premium video hosts, you're welcome to do so. But especially for a free training, I would just go with YouTube. It's easier to use. And here underneath specially invited guests, I would probably say some of my past clients. And here I would add in some testimonials. The whole goal here is to start building trust. That's why they're opting in. They want to learn more about you. They're at least interested. So add in some testimonials there. And then some buttons. I only need one button. So let's just have this. And this one's going to be apply to work with me, free application, something like that. You want them to apply to work with you. And then down below, this was code that was for the Facebook comments, the discussion, because remember, this was actually a webinar page, but I don't need that here. So it's as easy as clicking on the trash can and you're done. Probably update the company name, so update this. By the way, I should have said this earlier, but everything that we build here today, if you'd like it, you would be able to have it for free and have this video to kind of walk you through the steps of updating things and changing things. If you are interested in checking out Influencersoft, there will be an affiliate link in the description of this video. And once I'm done building it, I'll also share out the entire link for everything we build here, okay, including the actual booking process itself. All right, so this one here, this apply to work with me button, this is actually just text. Oh, silly guys, silly template. Let's put a button down here and call this button apply to work with me. All right, and then it's gonna be a normal button. The fill color, let's go ahead and fill it in with, is it still on the clipboard? Yes, it is. But I don't want the fill color. Sorry, this is again me still working through this system myself and getting used to everything, all the little details. What's going on here? Seem to be a little bit messed up here. Let's see what happens if I refresh. It's the nervous part. Spot like this. Oh, thank you, Shay, for sorry about that. Switching my screen back here. And unfortunately, I lost a couple things. That can happen sometimes, but we'll skip over some of that. All I really want to do is make sure I get that button on the screen. So I'll go to edit this section, and I'm going to add in a simple button. And the purpose of this button is simply to take them to the booking page, because this is going to be your premium training. We'll say book a free strategy call, or apply to work with me, however you want to angle it. I know some people want to be more exclusive, and so they want to have it as apply to work with me, or free strategy calls where you're giving more value away for free, whichever angle you want to choose. Let's make this a large button. And then underneath, button color, let's see here. Additional settings, here we go. The button color, I'll use my own. So I'm going to keep it a bit on brand. And I'll remove this text. And maybe we'll add a little bit of text down below on its own. And we'll just say, we'll kind of remind them a few things. What's going on with this text editor? You know, I'll be honest with you, the reason why this is a newer software, so there are going to be a few little hiccups or things that make you kind of wonder. This is definitely one of them. Just hit and save. Let's try to refresh. And let's see if we can edit that text. L says, this is the best deal for agency. That's a strong vote of confidence, but in the current environment, being able to have, oh, by the way, let me show you what this deal is. If you're looking at the software and you're kind of interested, sorry for the typing. I know I type kind of angrily sometimes. So right now it's $500, which is pricey, but also you have to like kind of root yourself in what the price point is for this type of a software. So the software is $500 for unlimited pages, unlimited traffic. It's pretty all-inclusive. The only real limits you have is how many contacts can be in your database, but it's limited to 100,000. So it's a pretty exciting value. If you're a client, or if you're an agency, you can serve some clients with it as well. You can set up unlimited domains. There's a lot you can do here. The trade-off, though, like, okay, it sounds too good to be true, right? So it's not too good to be true because the software is not perfect. The software is early. The company has been around for 8 years as like a parent company, but the name under which they're being sold here is a bit newer. So there is a level of risk with any deal, right? Any lifetime deal. So it's pretty solid. It's one that I own. I own happily. I'm very impressed with it. I love being able to map out my thoughts using it like this, but it has some room to grow. So that's what my thoughts are on it, L. All right, let's get back here to working on this thing. All right, book our free strategy call. Looks like we're back to normal. There we go. You will absolutely walk away from this call with value, and it will not be pressured into any sales or whatever. You want to. The goal here is get them to click the button and book a call. There's still going to be an application process. You're not going to have your calendar filled up with unqualified people, but you want to make sure there's some level here. Okay, so just to put it on brand, looks pretty good. I'll save this page. And we should be ready to exit this one. And now we have 2 of our pages built, only a couple more to go, and then setting up the actual booking process. All right, so underneath the schedule booking call, we're probably going to skip this. Let's go ahead and create our meeting real quick. And we'll do that with my favorite tool. This one, however, is the least important. Like, you can use any booking tool you like, so long as it allows you to embed your booking onto a different page, which most of them do at this point, and it allows you to redirect people once they have completed a booking. All right, so here let's go into Book Like a Boss. This will be one of my accounts. And now Elle's asking, how do I look at the future of this company? The next 6 months, I think, will really be the telling about this. Unfortunately, the refund period is, I think you got 30 or 60 days to refund it. So you have to. This is going to be one of those gambles. I think the pros far outweigh the cons of the platform right now. But really, what I'm looking for in the company's like longevity is if they're going to be able to continuously put out new features. And right now, their page builder is functional. It's not the best, but they have a lot of really cool things on the roadmap. I know the founder, not personally, but I've met him through this whole process, and he seems like he has a good head of steam under him, and he's ready to work at it. So I'm really excited for it, and I'm happy to promote and help it out the best I can. All right, so here, Book Like a Boss is a really cool interface. Let's just go ahead and make a little appointment. And here, I'm going to, again, this is going to be however you want to do it, but I'm just going to add an appointment here and call this free strategy call. And you can link this up with your Google Calendar so that it automatically, it does all the things you want a calendar system to do. I'll skip over most of that here. I just want to, say this is going to be a 30-minute call. You can do set up padding. Will look like you're busy, whatever you want to do. And then the redirect URL. This one's going to be important. What we want to do is once they book, send them over to our confirmation page, which we can then do some cool automations and stuff off of. So what I want to do is make sure I get this thank you for booking page, because again, they're going to book here and come over here. So let me just first and foremost create this page, and I'll give it a URL. I'm not a fan of any of these templates. I'm just going to use a blank one. And let's make this super, super simple. Come on, buddy. I'm not going to do any design, so I want to respect your time, but just say, thank you for booking. Let me make this a header 1. And then we'll just say, well, you get the idea. You can do anything you want here. If you want to offer them a discount on your services or whatever, that's fine. I'll just simply say thank you for booking on this page, and we'll save and exit so I can give it a URL. Winston asked, what am I using for the funnel? This is InfluencerSoft. So I've talked a little bit about this on my channel, but it's one of those that continues to kind of impress me with how easy it is to build out relatively complex funnels like this. So we'll call this, let's give it a URL. Booking complete will be what I want to call this thing. And I can just link it to one of my custom domains, but I'll simply use the default one here. And let's go ahead and check it out. All right, so that's the page. It works. I'm happy with it. So because the whole funnel is not scheduled yet, it's messing with me a little bit. Let me get that URL one more time. There we go. So this is a link that I want to send people back to the funnel with. Inside my booking system, I'll set that up as my redirect URL, and I'll automatically redirect it. Alrighty. So here, again, every booking system is different. If you want to have less calls but more qualified calls, you can do the approval required. That means that it'll kind of go into a pending status. You'll get a notification of the booking, and you can go in and say if you want to take the call or not. I'll leave that off for now. What I like about Book Like a Boss specifically is it's integrated with Zoom. So it'll automatically create a kind of a one-time use meeting. Very, very nice. If you're interested in Book Like a Boss, I probably should have put my affiliate link in this video, but I didn't. And I don't even know if I have an affiliate link. So just go check it out. There's nothing in it for me on that here. And then last thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I put in. Okay, and then here you can go. You got all the different calendar integrations if you want to set it up with your calendar. I'm not going to do that for this tutorial though. I now have a meeting, and I should be able to custom fields. Here we go. Set up an actual booking process, like an application process. So let's add one here, and we'll say, tell me about yourself, or let's see, annual revenue. Let's go right for the jugular, and we'll say this is going to be a select menu. And we'll say less than 10K per month, greater than 10K, less than 100K, greater than 100K. You just want to get an idea of who the people are you're working with. You can add a few more in. So tell me about your business. Give it a text field, make all these required. Make that required too. You get the idea. That's enough. The main thing here is you want to make sure you have enough questions in your booking process to make sure you know enough if you want to take the call or not. All right, so we'll save that. That's fine. That's fine. Update. And then we want to be able to embed this. So I'm going to come over here to embeds, and I want to grab that embed code. So free strategy call example is what we're using here. I want to call this embed free strategy. Save it. And it should kick out this embed code here. So I'll copy that, and I'll come back to my funnel. And now we're here to one of our last pages where we can actually embed that strategy call. I know I'm going pretty quickly here. Let me know if you have any questions along the way. All right, and we have, again, let's just do a blank page. Let's see some of the comments here while it's loading. Elle asks, how is email delivery going for you so far? Truth be told, I haven't hooked up a full funnel yet to this product. My wife and I, we still use Kartra or ConvertKit for pretty much all of our email sending needs. So I haven't put it through its paces. I have set up tests where I would have a new domain, and I would go through and I'd just make sure the functionality was working, everything delivered, and it delivered. It did not go to spam. And things like that. I will say there is a bit of an onboarding process to get your emails delivered. If you have a huge list, you're not going to bring it all over at once. And the company is doing that to make sure to keep spammers out of the system. So I think they're doing the right things, but I can't personally say I've sent millions of emails through the system yet. I'd like to, though. All right, so here we'll say book your free strategy session here. And we'll do this on H2 so it's not too huge. Remove this section. And then I want to be able to add a couple columns, and I want to put my embed into one of the columns. So I'm going to come down here for code and drop this down here. And then underneath the code, I should be able to paste in that booking script. And I got that from Book Like a Boss underneath the embedding section. So I've got that. And then if I want to add maybe a video on the side of it, I can just drag that over to the side. And I'm not a huge fan of this page builder, but I do like some of their features, and the ability to kind of very quickly change the column structure, I do think is quite nice. And 940 is a little too small, so let's go 1200 for the spacing on this page here. And you can, again, put some testimonials down. So I'll show you, you can add sections as well, not just individual pieces. So if I want to add some testimonials down below, it'll give me a few different options. So maybe something like this, just some additional social proof at the point of booking that might help people, complete the process. So I'll save this page. Yeah, so I got a comment here. Somebody's asking, are they planning to improve the page builder? It doesn't look good. I appreciate your honesty. I tend to agree with you. It's not the best when you come from things like Elementor and even ClickFunnels. It's not the most refined page builder. They know that. It's been spoken loud and clearly, and they've said that is their first major overhaul to the system. Their first thing they're planning on improving. But I hear you. One thing I'll say though, even though it's not like the most beautiful one, it's pretty quick to use. So if you want to just simply have simple pages, which can be just as effective, it's good enough, I think. But I hear you, and I'm not going to lie, it's not the best page builder I've ever used. All right, so we've got the Booking Your Free Strategy session here. You can see our embed code is there. Let me just save this. And for the sake of time, I'm going to go and just delete this page for now, the actual selling page, because I haven't built that yet. Because I want to show this. So I want to turn this thing on. All right. So I'm going to preview this one first. All right, great. So it's got my booking call here. I think I put a video next to it, but I didn't actually put any video in. So let me put a video in just to show you the responsiveness. Go back in, edit this guy. Let's find a little video to put in. All right, so I've got a video. Page editor should be loaded. So let's pull that video in. And we'll do a YouTube video. Let's drag it on this side. And this could be the instructions or kind of letting them know what's coming if they do book a call, how it works. Is it a Zoom? Is it a phone call? Whatever works better for you. So I'll save this. We'll exit out. And at this point, everything should be functional. So let's go ahead and check this thing out here, okay? I'm going to go in and actually log this in. So this page here should be live. If you guys wanted to test it around and play with it, I'll put this in the chat if I can figure out how to do that. And it should be in the chat now. That should be a live link that's working. So I'm going to opt in with this email address. That's fine. It'll take me directly here to the case study video itself, everything that we set up. If I decide I want to work with me, it'll take me directly into the booking page. And we didn't really test the actual booking functionality itself, but if I go and select the time, look at this. So, and again, the color scheme is all jacked up because we didn't set that up inside of Book Like a Boss. So that's nothing having to do with Influencersoft or even Book Like a Boss. It just needed to be set up. So I've got my call here. So John, put my email address in, my revenue. It's going to ask me my revenue, and then tell me about your business. I love working with John. All right, and then book me. Now what should happen here is, boom, redirect me to the thank you for your booking page. So I'm just going to say that's pretty darn good. Like under an hour, and we built this whole thing out. And what's even sexier, if I do say so myself, is check this thing out now. So now I can see the actual analytics that one person actually got to that booking page, and they actually got there. Like, so I've got all the analytics of everything that's going on page-wise. And I've also got 4 people that have visited the case study page, 3 emails that have been sent out. Let me see if that email delivered. this is definitely not a seasoned email address. I don't think I really even did what I'm supposed to do for this one. Let me go into my email setting here and see if it loaded up. All right, and then let me just check this out. You guys let me know if that's pretty cool with how quickly we were able to do that. And also what you'll find is I'm pulling up my email here, and the booking came through. It's going to show the all the answers they have on there, and it'll also show up on your calendar for whenever it was booked, which I can't even remember when I booked it by. All right, so all that is functional and working the way that you'd want it to. And I can also see here, this is my other email inbox, which I signed up for, and I can see, thank you for signing up for my case study. Click below to watch it now. And if I click next page, is that going to work? Yeah, look at that. You probably would want to put this inside of a link itself and say like, hey, click here to watch it now. But even with this, it works where you click the link and it takes them exactly where they're supposed to go, which I'm just pretty darn impressed with how dynamic everything is set up inside the system. All right. So if I refresh my analytics off on, I'll see more people were sent, and also one person, which was me, clicked from that email over to the actual case study video, and then 2 people, so I think somebody's actually following along and clicking through the funnel with me, are clicking over. So I'm actually seeing people, it's probably you guys live, seeing people live going through this funnel, and the analytics are updating. So I'm just going to go through it one more time. Let's do a fake email. Working through, I can book a call, and the times will also be updated. You know, your video can play on the side. 10 minutes, 30 minutes. Booking, et cetera, et cetera. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, awesome. So Elle's testing with me. Cool. And Shay says, I love seeing your emails come from the same people I follow, like minds. I appreciate that, Shay. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for that, indeed. So what we could do here now, I don't want to spend too much time on it, because I do want to cut this off soon, is let's say you have your call and they want to buy from you. They're ready to go. Well, to actually sell the thing, it's not that crazy. Here we did digital services. We set that up earlier for $4.97. The product is already created. All we need to do now is just create a page for it. Cool. Also, the calendar is adjusted to your time zone. Yeah. That's one of the benefits of not using all-in-one solutions. Like Book Like a Boss, all it does is booking. Like that's all you can do with it. It does it really well. So I do appreciate that. Okay. So, because I think Kartra's calendar is a little frustrating at times, but it still works. It still gets the job done. If you want one system, it's the best I've ever found. All right. So now we're just putting out a checkout page where you can direct them, and you'll just probably send them that with a very easy to remember URL, like engineeringfunnels.com/start or something like that. So we'll say, get started now. Join my digital services. All right. And then this will all be updated. It should all be updated with the settings I make on the outside, which are whatever fields you want. If you want to collect their billing address or their billing details, you can get their city and state. I probably would recommend not, but probably phone number would probably make sense for an onboarding call and things like that. And then everything else is kind of click and drag and update as much as you need. And that's saved. I can pop back to my funnel editor and put out one final page here, which is just going to be probably a thank you page. General content page. If they buy, which is that green check mark, they'll be able to come here and thanks for signing up. Page. And we'll simply, these are all opt-ins. Let's do like a activation. something like this. I'm not going to waste time on designing it, but here you would simply say, thank you for signing up. I'll be in touch. Okay. For Hotmail, it went to junk folder. All right. Thanks for letting me know. That's not the system's fault, because that email address, I haven't added my DKIM records. Like, there's some domains level stuff you have to do to make sure your deliverability is there. And also, the email itself was written rather spammy. Like, it had some gobbledygook on it. So I don't. Let me just say here. Oh wow! For Gmail, went to your primary. Very nice. But for Hotmail, went to your junk. So that's interesting that it went to primary on Gmail. But I don't blame the system for that yet, because I haven't really seasoned and done the steps I need to do for good deliverability. And rolling. And then you do whatever you need to do as your onboarding process for your new clients. Winston asks, what integrations does this have? Right now it has Zapier integration, and it allows you to embed anything from any other service with HTML or JavaScript into the pages. But it is pretty lacking on like native integrations. I think Thrivecart integration is coming. That has been the most requested integration, which I would also hope for. But nothing that I can really say is like, no real WordPress integration or anything like that. So I'm just giving this a very easy to remember URL here. Sandra asks, are those settings, email settings, in ConvertKit? There are, if you want to update your own email settings. But I think in general, ConvertKit has its own email sending reputation, which takes care of most of that for you, Sandra. So there shouldn't be anything you have to do. But if you find your emails are not being delivered that well, you can text their chat support, and they'll be able to help you get better email deliverability as well. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is let's role play, and let's pretend that we're on this free strategy call, and I love myself, or I love the service. I want to work with myself. So what you can do then is just send them to the link. So I made this my actual link, and then boom, it can send right there to the digital services product that I created, and I can set up. I live in one, and I think this is set up to my dummy account. I'm not going to give Stripe a $500 fee right now. Okay, so I don't have this set up for fake, for the what's it called, the staging site. So I'm just not going to take the money right now. I'm not going to pay myself real money, at least that much real money, but you get the idea. And then it would take me, assuming it was a successful payment, it would take me over to that thank you page. But you can see that did happen. All right, so that's a lot. We covered a lot here. I think we're about at the end of our time. It's almost 1 o'clock here where I'm at. One thing I do want to show you, because I think Sandra asked earlier, can you like automate emails based on what they do? And yes, you can. And here's how that works. And this is really powerful. One of the things I think is super cool about this platform is they have this little eyeball here, which says launch or do something every time somebody views that page. So what you could technically do is you could even launch an email. Oops. You could say if somebody gets to the thank you for booking page, that means they signed up for your service, or they signed up for your coaching call, right? So then you could go in and just say, hey, let's go and rock and roll, send an email saying thank you for booking, and you could even link in your entire lead magnet from that step on, right? So at any point, you can really create those automations and tags and all these other cool things. The last thing I want to do is if you want to be able to have a bit more of a fancy automation, like a bit more stuff going on, they've recently, and this is talking to the, we were worried about if they're really going to stand behind it, or how's this tool going to go? I was really impressed with what they did here, which allowed you to put in a process anywhere in the funnel. Now, what that means, that sounds kind of weird. So what a process is really powerful. It allows you to do the filters, the tags, the split testing, all these things without going too crazy on it here. Okay, so let me just say, create a process. We're going to call this confirmed a booking. So let's say, for example, if somebody books a call with you, you want to give them specific tags or do other things like that. So here you can go into this process builder, and say add a tag, and we'll call this tag book to call. Right? And oops. Yeah, okay, signed up. Or you can create a new tag like book to call. And so right now it's going to add a tag. Maybe you want to send them to a list of hot prospects. You get the idea. And all these things can happen, but if there's a lot of nitty-gritty stuff like you're doing, like handling the meta or no, come on. Okay, I'm just making the system happy. And you can even send emails from here. You can do split testing. You could filter contacts. So you could say, if I want to see what works best, I can do a 60-40 split test. Oops. And then certain people, 60% of your people can get one email. So send an email. And 40% of your contacts can get a different email. And you can see which one works better. Let's kind of spread these things out. A little weird to organize it, but that works. And so all this can live inside this little process, and you can save the process. I wonder if it'll let me save. Okay, it looks like it did. And then I can exit out of it. And so anybody who sees that page can go into this whole other thing, this whole other set of steps, and then that can launch off into something else once you're done with it. All right, so that is a big ol' honkin' funnel. Let me just see if anybody else is kind of testing along with me. Yeah, see, look at this. Like, this allows you to work so much smarter because you can quickly see the conversion rate. Like, I can see here that my opt-in page, I can't see traffic stats yet. They're still working on that. But eventually they're going to have it where you can see how much traffic's coming from YouTube and from Facebook and how Facebook traffic converts compared to YouTube traffic, et cetera. But at least now I can see that 30% of my people who see this page go over to that page and convert. 71% of people convert from here to here, et cetera. So I think that is pretty fancy here. Just doing a quick little comment check before I sign off. Claudio says, what I like about this tool is the simplicity and the overview of the funnel. I use WordPress plus Elementor Pro to create funnels, and it's definitely not that easy. I agree with you. I'm the same boat. We build a lot of funnels with Elementor, with email marketing systems, WordPress, page builders, and then checkout solutions. And it's just a lot of pieces to the puzzle. So, the previous comment was talking about the page builder not being great. Agreed. But the entire system and the way it all kind of works together, I think definitely does help make up for some of that. And Elle says, please share about drop funnels too. If drop funnels is a tool, Elle, let me know. I haven't heard of that one yet. But what you might also be talking about is sharing funnels. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this. And I should be able to get a shareable link and share this with you guys. So what this means is, I'm just going to hit copy. If you guys like this or kind of want to be able to play around with it and see it, if you purchase InfluencerSoft, you can click on this link and it'll go right into your account. If you don't have InfluencerSoft yet and you're looking at getting started with a business and you don't really want to spend a ton of money or have this really high level monthly fee you have to deal with every month, this is an option for you to get this funnel for free. And then also, if you're interested, you can sign up for InfluencerSoft at that point. So I'm just going to put that in the chat there. But also, I'll probably make a landing page for it and things like that eventually too. Elle says, nice sharing. Thank you very, very much. Shay asks, do you like this better than Kartra or ClickFunnels? I like the one-time cost, but wasn't sure if I should switch off Kartra. I would ask you, Shay, how's Kartra going for you? Are you making money? Is it a cost or is it a benefit? Is it profitable for you? I like to warn people not to switch to the next latest shiny thing. I struggle with that myself a little bit. I don't know if you guys can tell, but if the tools you have are working for you and making you money and they're not too much of a headache, I wouldn't say change. Kartra is more established. It's been around the block longer than this company has in the United States market, but there are some things that aren't great with Kartra. Sometimes I think their customer support is a little bit lacking. The monthly fee has lower limits than this one-time fee. So if you're just getting started, you haven't built too much into Kartra, and you like what you see here, there's a risk in this platform because it's so new. But there's also a lot of reward if it turns out to do, I mean, even just doing this, like what we can see here, you can go in and customize your date range. Obviously, we just built this today, but you could see like, hey, how's my funnel doing in this past 30 days? And you can make a switch, and then you can like analyze it and see, okay, 30 days later, it did worse and it did here. Okay, let me go back to what I did before. Like, I see a lot of benefits in having this type of an all-in-one solution. So I do think it's worth checking out personally. Check out here. Awesome. Sandra says, thank you for doing these walkthrough videos. Very helpful, and your enthusiasm is contagious. Appreciate that. And then a high school asks, how will this work for a high school? That's a great question. If it's for like an admissions process, I don't know. High schools really not sure on that one. If you want, you can send me an email at support@incomesh.com, and I can think on that one. But I don't know exactly what your use case would be. But anybody who has time to sell, like they want to book their time and things like that, this is technically, this would do it for you. Oh, cool, check this out. So I actually just realized this. It'll also show you visually on the funnel how many people are waiting at a specific step before an email. So if you guys remember, we set a 1-day delay between this email and that email. And right now it's going to show me through my analytics that 5 people are waiting for this email. So if you're in this position, oh, shoot, let me share my screen here. So let me hide this. What I meant to say was, you look here, I've got 5 people waiting on email 2 after this email here. So if you are in a launch period, or you're like waiting to see how things are working out on your specific funnel, you can see exactly where people are at, not just what they have seen, which is pretty cool. It's like, and it's well done. Like, it's kind of in a different color and it's very clear. So if you know this email's coming out soon and you've got like a huge bunch of people waiting on it, maybe it's time to go check out the contents of that email and, like, you know, improve it and things like that. So I don't know. I'm a fan. Like, I'm definitely a fan of this tool. I am a little bit cautious of it, I would say, because it's new and it takes time for these things to really prove themselves. But if you're interested in checking it out, it's risk-free. It's 30 days. I'm an affiliate. I get a small commission if you sign up. But as you can see here, I'm impressed with it as I'm using it. So I would say maybe give it a shot. If you're currently using Kartra or ClickFunnels and it's not like everything you want it to be, this might check a few boxes those tools don't check. It might leave a few other boxes open, but at a cost, you know, it might be worth checking out. So that's all I'll say. I'm not trying to pressure you guys or push in anything, but I think it's a pretty cool tool. And if you enjoyed these types of videos, you know, please subscribe, share this stuff with your friends and all that stuff. I appreciate it. I hope this is valuable. I'm John from incomesh.com. I'm going to sign off at this point, but thank you guys for joining me for this tutorial, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.